You wake up at 6:47 a.m. exactly 7 minutes before your alarm is set to scream. Your body knows. It's been doing this routine for 4,847 days. That is almost 13 years at the same company climbing the same ladder. You tell yourself it's security, a good salary, benefits, stability. But as you stare at the white ceiling in the semi-darkness, there is a physical weight in your chest you can't quite shake. You are making more money than your parents ever dreamed of. You have the title, you have the car and the driveway, and yet somehow you feel more broke than when you started. You feel fragile. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that feeling isn't paranoia. It's not a coincidence. It is by design. This is the salary trap. Let's introduce you to Sarah. She's 34 years old. She makes $85,000 a year. On paper, she's in the top 20% of earners in her demographic. She should feel rich. She doesn't. Sarah gets paid every 2 weeks. That's a gross paycheck of $3,269. But before she even touches it, the government takes its cut. After taxes, she's left with $2,458. Now here is where the trap gets interesting. The system doesn't present her with a choice. It doesn't hand her cash and say, here is your power, decide what to do with it. Instead, it uses a technique called financial fragmentation. Before the money hits her account, it's already spent. Rent takes $1,200, nearly half her income. Groceries and dining out take $400. Car payment, insurance, and gas take $550. Phone, internet, and the slow bleed of subscriptions take $120. Utilities take $140. By the time Sarah actually looks at her bank balance, she has spent $2,410 of her $2,458. She has $48 of freedom left for an entire 2 weeks. She isn't running a life. She is running a break-even business where she is the only employee. But here is the psychological genius of the trap. Sarah doesn't experience this as poverty. She doesn't panic. Why? Because the system gives her a powerful sedative. It's called the illusion of comfort. She drives a 2024 SUV. She lives in a complex with a gym and a pool. When she walks into her office, she looks successful. The system gives you just enough comfort to stop you from asking why you aren't building wealth. This is the salary trap's first weapon. It convinces you that lifestyle is the same thing as wealth. When money comes in a lump sum and leaves in fragmented small pieces, your brain never fully grasps that you are drowning. You are treading water in a heated pool, but you are still treading water. Now let's talk about what actually keeps you stuck. And this is where it gets darker. The entire economy is engineered to keep you dependent on the next paycheck. Think about the timeline. You are told to get a good education, so you go into debt. Now you are hunting for a job not to build a future, but to service the past. You find a job. Maybe you start at $60,000. But the moment you accept that job, the system's second trap activates. Lifestyle inflation. You get the job, so you justify the nicer apartment. Your rent goes from $800 to $1,200. You get the promotion to $90,000, so you justify the luxury car. Your payment goes from $300 to $600. You take the vacation you deserve. Each increase in salary feels like freedom, but mathematically, each increase is tightening the noose. Why? Because you are no longer free to leave that job. You need that specific salary to maintain the infrastructure of your life. This is what I call golden handcuffs. The cruelest part? You locked them on yourself. The system just handed you the key, and human psychology did the rest.
Let me tell you about a friend of mine, David. He works in tech. He makes 6 figures, but every Sunday night he feels sick. Last year, his company offered him a promotion, a $20,000 raise. He felt relieved. He thought, finally, I can get ahead. 2 weeks later, his landlord raised the rent because the market went up. His mortgage rate adjusted. His oldest child needed private tutoring. He bought a new car because the old one didn't fit the image of a director. 6 months after the raise, his bank account balance was exactly the same as it was before. The salary trap ensures that your obligations always rise to meet your income. The salary doesn't determine your freedom. The gap between your income and your expenses does. And the system is designed to keep that gap as small as possible, preferably zero. A CEO making $500,000 who spends $495,000 is just as trapped as the worker making $50,000 who spends $50,000. Actually, the CEO is more trapped because finding another $500,000 job is a lot harder than finding another $50,000 job.
I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Strip away the title. Strip away the compliments from your boss. If you lost your job today at 10 a.m. this morning, how many months could you survive? If your answer is less than 3 months, you aren't successful. You are fragile. And you aren't alone. Over 60% of high-earning professionals live paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. You are one bad meeting, one merger, or one recession away from total ruin. That is not financial security. That is a very comfortable prison. Your landlord, your bank, the car company, they love you. You are a predictable, guaranteed revenue stream for their wealth, not yours. The salary trap convinces you this is normal. Work, earn, spend, repeat until you die. But it isn't a law of physics, it's a choice. And the moment you see it, you can't unsee it. Here is how you break the handcuffs. 3 steps. Step 1, the mindset shift. Stop confusing income with wealth. Income is how much money flows through your hands. Wealth is how much sticks. A $200,000 salary is just a high-pressure job. $50,000 in assets is freedom. Focus on net worth, not salary. Step 2, attack the gap. You must artificially suppress your lifestyle. If you get a raise, do not move. Do not upgrade the car. Take 100% of that new money and divert it before you see it. Widen the gap between what you earn and what you burn. This is the only mechanism that creates wealth. Step 3, build optionality. Your goal is not a Lamborghini. Your goal is FU money. The moment you have 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account, the psychological weight on your chest vanishes. You can negotiate better. You can quit toxic jobs. You become the master of the system, not the victim. The salary trap is sophisticated. It is shiny, but it is still a trap. The people who break free aren't luckier than you. They just decided that owning their time was more important than looking rich. If you want to learn the actual mechanics of building that war chest and escaping the system, hit subscribe. We are rewriting the rules of money here. I'll see you in the next video.